Okay, so peace. What does peace mean to me? I find that an absolutely huge question, and I don't think peace is a word. I think it's a whole way of life. I think it's an attitude. I think it's an internal environment that reflects outwardly. People talk about peace as if it's just the absence of war, as if it's just the absence of conflict, but how does that come about? What does that mean? You just have an arms embargo, you just surrender all your weapons and suddenly there's peace? Is that how you end conflicts? You look at the conflicts that exist in the world that have gone on for thousands of years, thousands and thousands, and then you look at conflicts that seem to start out of nothing, like some young kid getting jumped on, walking home from a disco, jumped on and beaten. Where's the peace? How do you bring peace? Do we introduce constant boot camps? Do we introduce constant monitoring? Or do we all take a part, and instead of saying they must do something, do we take a part in owning peace? Do we claim ownership of every letter, every syllable, every sentence in which the word peace is used? And do we do something that starts right in here in the heart? Do we think about every action, every breath, every word that we speak? Is this contributing to a greater good? Is this good for me and good for you? This thought, this observation, this action, this intent, this work that I do, this opinion that I have, what is it contributing in the world? When we do that, when we stop being threatened by what other people may have or how other people perceive the world, when we take responsibility for ourselves, I think that's when we find peace. I think that's when we can allow difference in the world. Peace may be about consensus, but it's not about conformity. Democracy isn't about just the majority, or if it is, what happens when the majority is like the Nazi Party was? What happens when the majority has no regard for the sanctity of other people's lives? We need to have a bigger idea of peace, and we need to not just see it as a piece of life. We need to see it as the umbrella under which so much else sits, so much else grows, so much else walks about, including our children, our families, our communities. We need to just think all the time, consciously, of our motivation, our intentions. And if you don't feel threatened by somebody else, if you believe that you matter, if you believe that you have a contribution, no matter what your size, shape, colour, race, background, and if other people believe it too, without the threats, without the rancor, without the jealousy, then there is a possibility of peace, but it has to start in here.